Today, we are back updating the best cards at each position right now in Madden 25 Ultimate Team. These videos do seem to do pretty well, so if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. We have Most Feared coming up next week. Want to put this out before then. Normally, that's kind of when the needle moves for a lot of content, speed, height, new names, things like that, and people even coming back to the game. But we have Will Levis, QB, Will Levis. I think he's the best right now. I really do. There are a bunch of other options. I'm not including the rank session 2 guys in this video at all today, but we have a lot of names, and it's crazy that Will Levis is the number 1, mainly for the speed combination, the accuracy being good enough, and getting Gunslinger with Slinger 1. That's just really all you got to know about this card. Checks every single box for me, and he's the most well-rounded. I mean, Jordan Love's nice, but does lack that little extra speed on the Gunslinger, which I think puts Will Levis over the top. Mahomes, kind of a disappointment, honestly, with this card. I mean, the physicals are crazy, but of course, you have the Mahomes release and subpar abilities. And the audible animation is just absolute hell. But before we get into our running backs, we have a quick word from our sponsor. If you're looking to add any of these cards to your team today, head to my sponsor, MMOEXP. Cheap, fast, reliable MUT coins. And don't forget to use code 30 at checkout for 5% off. We now have the running backs. And I'm going to be honest with you, okay? A running back really doesn't matter in this game. Like, I really couldn't justify spending over 100K for a running back in the way this game plays right now. I don't know. Maybe call me crazy, but I really couldn't justify it. I feel like that's a big problem with the game for me. And I would call myself a little bit more of a runner than a passer. I'm not like a full run. I don't like when the run game's overpowered, but I don't like when the run game's like this, or the stick works even like this, where you even if, someone gets through the line of scrimmage and, does get a good shed, you can't even make that guy miss because there's no stick work. It's stale. It's boring stick work. The game, honestly, is not fun. It's just high ball, mid blitz, high ball, mid blitz over and over and over again. And, these running backs, these are the best 2 in the game, in my opinion, but I really wouldn't spend over maybe 150 is the ceiling I'd go, because you'll get the same, 10 for 18 yards with Marshall Faulk that you'll also get with, Austin Eckler, Pacheco, or Eric Dickerson. And that's the harsh truth about running backs in this game. At fullback, we have Kyle Juszczyk. It's a fullback. No one really uses them in this game. Wide receiver, DK Metcalf, 6'4", 90 speed, 89 acceleration, all 32 team chems as well. And they are actually updating theme teams if you guys didn't know. If you want to do it, you can, but I don't think it's really worth making that jump up to the 30 because you don't get any extra speed boost. It's just strength and acceleration, which is all right. I think the acceleration one's pretty good, but outside of that, the speed's the big one we're looking for. We then have Tyreek Hill, of course, a little bit smaller, but 90 speed, 90 acceleration, good route runner, especially that 90 deep route running is what we like, and even 91 mid, 91 short DK is also crazy. And we then have Xavier Worthy, Chiefs team. You can run all 3 of these receivers and go crazy. And then you also have Mahomes and Pacheco. Chiefs team is really good. And you have Joshua. His name Joshua Williams, right? That's his name, right? Is that his name? What's his name? It's Joshua, right? Joshua Williams. I got it right. I don't know why that didn't sound right to me, but I think he's the Chiefs team is really good. And you have an Eric Berry coming up too. There's some good guys on the Chiefs team. I'm probably missing somebody too. At tight end, I'm gonna go Gronk here. I'm gonna go Gronk by himself. And, you could argue Pitts, and there's other guys, too, you could argue. But I'm going to go Gronk by himself, because I feel like Gronk is the lone guy that, not this one, I think he's the lone tight end in this game that is an elite receiving option, is elite after the catch. Because, again, they got rid of the spin. They got rid of the juke. The juke was dead, when the year started, but the spin, we still had the spin. So that made guys like Vernon Davis more valuable and things like that. But now we're looking for these heavy guys that can break tackles with the boom tech. So you have crazy trucking, crazy break tackle, and you're a pretty good run blocker too with good speed at 6'6". So I think Gronk is tight end 1 in this game right now. And honestly, his price being where it's at, it's not bad for what I think the best tight end in the game is and what he brings to your team. A good helps your run blocking out, which who knows how much that will do. To be honest with you, but it's there for you, and he's a good pass catcher anyway. And like in the short game, he'll break tackles, things like that. And then we have offensive line. We have J.C. Latham. You guys know if you were watching the channel for a minute, I love speed on my offensive line, and J.C. Latham has that with all over 80s and really high strength, which is amazing. Next up, we got Matthew Bergeron. Did I say his name right? Bergeron? Maybe it's Bergeron. Bergeron. That's how you say it. He's going to get +2 speed if you use the ratings boost for breakouts, which is pretty good. 72 acceleration with 66 speed. all over 80, and he's got high strength as well. We like speed, we like strength, and we like all those stats to be over 80. We then have more speed. When I say speed, he's not like 80 speed. We should start getting those maybe for Mosphere, maybe for Blitz. Who knows? We haven't started getting those fast alignment yet, but a little bit more of a faster one here. 67 speed, good blocking, all over 80. We then have Ed Ingram. This position actually sucks in game right now. Larry Little is just too small. And I would like the strength in the all over 80s and even the decent speed, like 73 acceleration on your right guard is pretty good for pulling and things like that. So I don't hate him. We then have Anton Harrison, who does get 72 speed, 74 acceleration, all over 80 with high strength. So offensive line, you can actually build a pretty good offensive line right now in game. A good mix of speed, strength, and all this stuff. You have all these guys. And even Chiefs do get Creed Humphrey as well. Head over to defense. Before we get started on the defense, if you're new to the channel, of course, hit the subscribe button, turn on those notifications. If you are new here, these videos normally these videos normally do well. Yeah, that's the way I should have said it. So hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel, man. We then have left end, Will Anderson. There were some other guys I considered for this spot. Jason Taylor's one I do like. One thing I don't like about Jason Taylor is that he's not 80-80. I like having guys that are always kind of 80-80 for me if I can pick. Obviously, with like if you have a theme team, you kind of can't pick and choose. It's not make or break, but it's there. So we have Will Anderson. I think he's going to be the number one. And then if you want more of a guy who's maybe, I mean, he can come off the edge, right? He can come off the edge, but I think I like him more on the interior. He's 266, and he's got good finesse move, really good power moves, 85 speed, and high acceleration. Gastineau needs to be mentioned here too. So he can come off the edge. I like Anderson a little bit more off the edge, but Gastineau, man, he's like, I think having a 90 stat is very important, which you can get Gastineau too with sack exchange and all, and you know, giving him that +1 power moves. It's possible to do. So yeah, I wouldn't rule him out, but I think Will Anderson out the box is just better off that edge. But on the interior, man, if you say you run like 6'1", you have your outside linebackers kind of boxing those ends, Gastineau's your guy. Right end, Micah Parsons. It speaks for itself. A beautiful card. You love to see it. Aiden Hutchinson here at right end as well. He's kind of another one of those guys where I like on the inside too. Like, he can come off the edge. He does in real life, obviously. But I like him more covered by an outside linebacker. Where Micah, you just kind of let him fly, do his thing. And the main reason for that is really because you kind of want that flexibility on your edge rushers in this game, to be honest with you. So that's probably the main reason. Next up, at defensive tackle, we have Warren Sapp, easily the best right now in the game. Acceleration makes me excited for the interior. You know, acceleration is always king. Then you have 90 finesse move with really good tackling stats there. Quinn Williams is going to be our defensive tackle 2, able to get +1 speed, +1 acceleration with 87 power moves and solid against the run with the 303 build. Next up, left outside linebacker, we have Charles Haley. This card is severely underpriced, one of the better value buys. He was in the video on Monday, but 87 speed, 88 acceleration, 86 power move, 82 finesse move with these tackling stats for 140K. Damn, okay? This card, 1.3 mil for the Wild Man. This card was a demon last year. He's back and he's a monster this year. And I like the drop off between this Wild Man and this one is crazy. Look at the zone coverage. 70 zone on him, 89 zone on this guy. So you get a coverage guy who's tall, who even does get some pretty good, you know, abilities, X factors, all that stuff, like alert artist. And you don't need these, but, you know, it's there for you. Inside stuff's kind of nice too. Reinforcement we like. So you have a bunch of different options here. The Wild Man is a stud. Best middle linebacker in the game. But MLB2, we're going to go with Troy Anderson. Love this card. His price should drop. Unfortunately, with the hurricane going on in Florida, that's where the EA headquarters are. So they are delaying Team of the Week till next week, and it's going to drop with Week 6. So I expected his price to drop when Team of the Week came out, obviously, this week. It's not going to come out this week. It's coming out next week. So keep that in mind. Or come out today, I guess, while you're watching this. It's supposed to come out today. But, yeah, it's not. It's coming out next week. So Troy Anderson's price might hold on. Maybe it'll drop. Who knows? My money's on no, because the theme team will probably still keep going until the next week. The right outside linebacker was and still probably is my least favorite position in this game. Not too much depth, nothing too crazy, but Brian Rapco's nice, man. 84 speed, 90 acceleration, good strength. 89 power move, 80 finesse move, good against the run, 6'4", 250. His cards always do play well as well, and you do get unstoppable force, 4 AP. So do what you want with that information. People probably are not running unstoppable force. Maybe they are. I don't. 38% of people, I guess, who have their teams linked up are using it. We then have Lawrence Taylor, 100K. I don't think he's I think he has a debate to be the better one, honestly. Like, if you're not going to run the X factors and stuff like that, I think it's a real debate for Lawrence off that edge. Like, perfect traits. You cannot get better traits than what Lawrence Taylor has. Pass rush is 80-80, 86 speed, 80 acceleration, good against the run. Like, I think it's a real, if you're not using X factors, there's a real debate for 100K Lawrence Taylor. Like, 100K for Lawrence Taylor, and then you get Charles Haley for 140. That pass rush for 240K, I mean, damn, like you're in a good spot. Like that's pretty nice. And of course, now we have our cornerbacks. L'Jarius Sneed needs to be here today. 6'1", 90 speed, man, zone. That's all you got to know right there. We then have Charles Woodson, 6'1", man, zone, run support. And another thing I think I mentioned this in the best cornerbacks video. One thing I definitely do find underrated. It's not make or break for me, but having a good like juke move and things like that, it does make a difference. It's just nice to have on a corner. At the end of the day, it's nothing worse than getting that interception. You have one lineman to beat and you can't make him miss because you have I always see this problem with this Sauce Gardner. I picked the ball up with him and he just the dude can't move after the catch. So I get tackled, not a lot of pick six returns, things like that. So I do think it's not make or break for me, but it's just kind of nice to have. And finally, we have Joey Porter Jr., who's 6'2", potentially 89 speed, 90 acceleration, man, zone, pursuit, size. I am kind of curious to see what his juke is. Where is it? Yeah, like 57. It's like there's a big difference between guys like Charles Woodson. Let's see L'Jarius. I only check it on guys that I know have it, like Deion, Woodson. 68. So like these, you know what I mean? It's just nice to have that movement on Charles Woodson. And for our safeties, we have session 1, rank season reward, Ed Reed. Okay. 32 team chems, 91 speed, 90 acceleration, man, zone, catching, and honestly not that good against the run, but it's made up for the speed and things like that. And if you want a guy that's more obtainable, I do think DeMar Hamlin is the best safety in the game, not named Ed Reed right now, which is crazy to say, but here we are. He can tackle, 6 foot, 200, speed, acceleration. Like he's pretty nasty, man. Do not let, okay, all right. Unhinged in the mud.gg comment section. And for our strong safety, we got Justin Reed, Broncos, Texans, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers. Look at the strong safeties right now. I think he's by far the best. Good run support, good speed, good size, good man in zone. I think he's probably the best in this game at this position. We have Brisker, who I like. Hitman always does play well. His cards always play kind of above their stats when I think about it. Jigger Brown's nice too, but I think Justin Reed is the best one. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Have a great rest of your day. Hit the subscribe button if you are new here, and hit the subscribe button. Have a good one. I'll see you boys.